Everyone watching, we are out here for the continuation of the march from Selma to Montgomery. Reverend Jesse Jackson is joining us. The AFL-CIO is in the house. Labor, say what's up. For those of you who can't be here with us, we're glad at least you're with us digitally, and stay with us. Reverend Jackson is here. Each organization has taken a day in this march. Monday was the Rainbow, Reverend Jackson's organization, the Poor People's Campaign, and Barbara Arnwine's organization, the Transformative Justice Coalition. Tuesday was the National Action Network. Yesterday was Black Voters Matter and a number of other organizations affiliated. Today, the League of Women Voters was here yesterday too. A number of organizations, the Workers' Circle, all partners with Black Voters Matter. Today is organized labor, the AFL-CIO and all of its affiliated organizations. Keep it moving, keep it moving. Yes, oh, why are we stopping? UAW is here. God bless you, Reverend Jackson. I love you, Jackson. Successful day on yesterday with Black Voters Matter, correct?
Feel really good. Feel really good. Everybody was excited, energized. Folks felt connected. Folks learned some history, some powerful history. We ready. We ready for the next phase of this battle.
At 5 rows.
The union. What's the connection between Black Voters Matter and these union soldiers?
Oh, I mean, it's an old school connection. It goes back to, you could at least go back to, the Scottsboro, the Scottsboro boys in that case, and the role the union played in that, and the role the union played all throughout the civil rights movement. The history of the songs, this evolving history of from spirituals to the labor songs, and then coming back around to the civil rights movement. There's so many connections, even going back to our freedom ride last summer. Some of our biggest participation from labor, from Unite Here. It's always been a strong connection, and the issues are connected, right? You can't talk about labor without talking about Black folks that are in labor, right? And so much of this history has led us to this moment, and it's so just honored to be able to be on this day that labor is really showing leadership as part of this march.
What is it to have all of these different civil rights groups and youth groups and voting groups and legal groups? What's the significance of all of us taking this march to Montgomery?
I mean, it shows that we're all connected, right? We all are part of this mutual connectivity, right, and this common destiny. And it's also just a symbolic of the fact that we all are going to be part of these discussions. Some of the discussions that we've even had as we've been walking on the march, between the organizations and after the march. planning and strategizing over what we're going to do in this next phase. This isn't just about commemorating. This is about activating.
It's a continuation of.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
What do you think is necessary for us to stay connected?
We have to continue, and I would say last year has been a really good year because we have been able to have sustained connection. That's really what it is, right?
Yeah.
It's what brings change. And the reason why these kind of connections matter is because of resources, right? One organization can't carry the banner
Right.
for the entire movement, and there's so many facets to the needs that our community has, right? Whether it's workers' issues, whether it's women's issues, whether it's young people's issues, whether it's our disabled brothers and sisters, whether it is immigration, whether it's Black issues such as reparations and the need to bring infrastructure to our communities, right? All of those things require empowerment. So we have these spaces like the Jubilee, we're able to come together and coalesce and reconnect to each other, then we can have that sustained
Yes.
action.
Sustained
365.
accountability is critical.
365.
Yes. Because they have a sustained.
That's right.
Who is they? Who is they? Tell them who they is.
Experts.
No interruption.
As a matter of fact, they're dancing them, and it's harder to identify them because they no longer have the white sheets covered, they got the black sheets. Black robes. Black heads.
You have the government.
Yes.
No.
But they're still very invisible. Now people don't see it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Sometimes you want the white suits, so we be on alert.
It's the only thing that excites us. That's the only way we know who our enemies are. For example, in Selma, it's clearly a Trump icon and white supremacist. But the Black people in Selma put him in office because he is the weak. And he's excellent. And then he's the first. In May, but not on my watch. I think I can't.
Yeah, yeah.
Say, so we got to talk about how important it is. Watch back. You got to talk about how important it is that we got people documented, right? The role that Black media plays, and that's always been important. When you go back to Barnett, documented what's happening in our communities and that white supremacy, or whether you talk about the hey, how you doing? You talk about the modern day versus that, folks like Mark Thompson and Roland, Black media telling our stories. So ain't nobody can tell it like that.
So we got Make It Plain with I'm here, Roland, but we're streaming now on all the platforms. My platform, Roland Martin.
That's right.
Black Star Network. We out here doing it.
That's right.
I'm glad you all here. Folks, this is Organized Labor's Day in the March from Selma.
California, Alabama, Louisiana, all over the country. And the labor leaders are here with the people.
That's right.
Not just
That's what's important.
the members of labor leaders out here. Some as far away as California and Birmingham.
Put it back in my car. Might as well walk back to the
That's so yeah.
This is very inspiring. Because living in Selma, where there's very few activists, it's easy to feel helpless. Not hopeless, but it's easy to feel helpless. So it was important for me to be here just to get rejuvenated. Amen.
Yeah.
You live in the belly of the beast, and people don't even have these skills. Come on. We had 7 students in Selma over the weekend, one day. 7. A weekend of Jubilee, 7. So Selma continues to break from poverty.
Well, what's the cause of all the gun violence in Selma?
I'm talking about this. Education, you name it. Poverty, and the fact that the white supremacists and dope in our community, not jobs and hope. And no one is going after the criminals who are putting the dope and the guns in the black community in Selma throughout the country. We a white woman who worked for the police department, we found out she had stolen 200 guns off the street and resold them on the street. And her bond was on at $35,000. Where there are black men in jail right now under $2 million bonds. All black men who have been there, some of them for 10 years. That's the Selma now. That's the Selma now that we must make a model. We have to bring resources to Selma because it is a dying city. It have 1,000 people. The population is decreasing. Children have to walk 10 miles to school because the Board of Education would not provide transportation. And they have the money. But that stimulus money, they have the money.
They absolutely do.
The city of Selma got $20-some million under the Biden administration. But the people are not holding them accountable. Because people are giving up hope in government. Because blacks are in government and they don't see no change. And they're giving up. Movements like this revive them.
No doubt. We got to fight for Selma. Where you from, sir? Lowndes County. All right. Lowndes County up in this place. Cliff, do this for our audience. Talk a little bit about the history of Lowndes County and where the original symbol of the Black Panther came from. That's great.
I couldn't hear what he said, but whatever he said, I co-signed on.
The plane's going over y'all. When this plane, something is happening. They must be on the way to Ukraine. It's a few of them. They scrambling. We're near the Air Force Base, y'all, so the planes are scrambling for some reason. We ain't got the news out here, so y'all text me if the war started. If something's jumped off over here.
Trump, Lowndes County was killed by a white man about 3 years ago. So really worried that white man happened in the 60s. He was killed. But
Yeah, I'm saying you're gonna walk people in. Right now, tried everything to get him out of jail. Now he's trying to mill a thing. So,
Now we're still in Lowndes County, right? We're in Montgomery now. But Lowndes County is where the original symbol of the Black Panther came from.
young or old man.
Right, same thing with my wife, uncle, wife. When she was a school teacher, they had land and they stayed with her sometime and went home.
Do you remember Miss Bessie McMean?
Why? Yeah.
Bessie McMean told me that when they came to shoot up her house, Stokely Carmichael slept on the floor to protect her family for days.
Right. All of them and
Lowndes County Freedom Organization. That was the original Black Panther. That's where the Black Panther symbol came from, y'all.
they said as they were going around organizing and getting people educated on how to vote, because mind you, most of our folks had not been able to vote.
Yeah.
Said, well, you know what? And there was an issue with literacy, right? And so they said, well, look, this is what we know. The official symbol of the Democratic Party at that time was a rooster, a white rooster, and on the seal were the words "white supremacy." Logo of the state Democratic Party. And so what Stokely and them and the Lowndes County Freedom Organizers knew was that our folks may not know the difference between Democrat, Republican, and a rooster and a Black Panther. And so that was the symbol that they used. And that's why, a lot of times people will refer to it as, oh, that's that Black Panther Party. And then years later, or not too many years later, when folks out in Oakland were coming together, they decided that it was appropriate to use that symbol for their Black Panther Party, which wasn't a political party the same way as Lowndes County Freedom Organization, but that Black Panther symbol, that what power means. You know what that symbol means.
That's right.
California as it was in Lowndes County. A lot of that organizing started actually as part of the Selma to Montgomery March.
Yeah.
That's right. And so years later, you know, when we were living in Selma, and when we got fed up because the Democratic Party had taken black voters for granted, including in a race that we were involved in with our dear friend Sister Latasha Brown, where there was illegal voting, illegal crossover, illegal crossover voting that took place in the Democratic primary, which we proved. We contested the election and proved it, but the party officials still would not side with the black voters of Dallas County because they didn't want to jeopardize that same year was a gubernatorial race. And so they basically sacrificed, y'all let me know if this sounds familiar. They sacrificed black voters in the name of the greater good, the same way that the Mississippi Freedom Democrats had been sacrificed in '64 because they didn't want to cause any damage on the presidential race. This history repeats itself. So in 2006, what we did was we say, you know what? That same law that SNCC and the Lowndes County Freedom Organization, that same law that they used to form the Lowndes County Freedom Organization was still on the books. In Alabama, you don't have to go statewide to establish a third party to get ballot access. You can do it on a county basis. So in Dallas County in 2006, we started a petition drive to create the Alabama Freedom Party of Dallas County. Getting signatures on our petition. And at the end of the day, when we delivered 3 times as many signatures as what we needed, you know, they try to cut all the names down, try to say that we wouldn't have enough. That's why we went out and got 3 times the signatures. We got on the ballot. And when we got on the ballot, following the lesson of the Lowndes County Freedom Organization, we said, what image can we use that'll be not just symbolic, but also educational and that we know black folks will resonate with? And so the symbol we came up with, it wasn't a Black Panther, but it was even more powerful. Our party logo for the Dallas County Freedom Party, our party logo was a black woman. Image of the Statue of Liberty, which many people know was originally designed and drawn after the image of a black woman. And so we recreated that image, our version of that image in 2006. That was like, we called her Lady Freedom. In fact, Sister April used to dress up when we don't go around doing our community meetings. She would dress up as Lady Freedom because we knew that our people, they may not know the difference between an elephant and a donkey, but they sure hell know what a black woman stands for. For the Freedom Party.
We got how many people?
For
our ticket that
it was 18%. Because in Alabama, to maintain your status, right? Now check this out. In most states, if you get 2%, you get to stay on the ballot. Right?
Yeah.
And the Green Party stay on the ballot in many of these states. All they get is like 2-3%, but they get to stay on the ballot. In Alabama, as a third party to stay on the ballot, you had to get 20%.
Wow.
The first time, you got to get 20%. And so we came up a little short, got 18%, because there was we did a lot of good education, but there's a lot of like history and tradition, people and straight party voting, right? Sometimes go in and they'll just put that one thing where they vote for the whole party. So there was a lot we had to overcome, but at the end of the day, I'll never forget, I was hosting a radio show at the time, and the chair of the county Republican Party used to call into our radio show. I used to do this show with J.L. Chester.
Yeah.
Attorney.
I remember that show. Yeah.
Called to our show and always tried to cause trouble and confusion, right? This was disinformation at that time. So he called in the day after the election trying to gloat, talking about, you can get your 20%. I said, well, you know what, Brock? You and your Republican Party been in this county for about 150 years and you still can't get 20%.
That's right.
So at the end of the day, we got 18%. We got new voters that we added on because we did the analysis. And what we found was that there were people that voted in that general who had not voted in the primary. And not only that, but they came out, those people voted for us. And a lot of those were young folks who had not already been caught up in that history of just routinely voting Democrat. All they knew is I'm going to vote for my interests.
Yeah.
Just not tradition. So we knew we was on to something. We just came a little bit short. But 4 years later, somebody else came around running as a Democrat. But guess what? They ran basically on our platform.
Yeah.
Victory in the race that we ran for, because our platform, you want to tell them what the platform was about Luke 4:18?
We decided to stop letting for the Republicans to stop co-opting the message of Jesus.
That's right.
So we based our platform, the Freedom Party, on Luke 4:18.
418.
It says, you know, Brad, Jesus' platform.
Uh-huh.
He was going to give sight to the blind.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Right? Of the year of the Lord's favor.
Yes.
Platform.
Yes.
To deal with poverty.
Uh-huh.
And this miseducation issue.
Uh-huh.
Sight to the blind.
That's right. That's right.
Scared of me, right? That's what we ran on. And 4 years after we did the Freedom Party, somebody ran on basically the same platform, but was able to win because they did it through the traditional mechanism.
Yeah. Amen. Amen. Folks,
In the history of the Lowndes County Freedom Organization.
Lowndes County Freedom Organization, y'all. Folks, we're at our first rest stop on the march from Selma to Montgomery. Here with organized labor. AFL-CIO is here. UAW is here. Go try to do a quick roll call. Where you from, man? Birmingham. What union you with?
I'm a lawyer and I represent most of the unions in the Southeast.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Good to see you, man. Thank you for being here. All right. All right. Where you from, brother?
Birmingham, now Fairhope.
Oh, in Fairhope. Okay. You with the union?
Union member right now.
Okay.
LCIO.
But you're here in support. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you. How are you? You eating? I'm not gonna bother you while you eating banana. You don't want to be on TV. You don't want to be. You are. Where you from?
From Flint, Michigan. I just relocated to Alabama because there's an awesome movement going on in Alabama, and I wanted to be a part of it, and I want to be close to it.
AW?
I am UAW.
You working one of the plants around here?
I'm helping assist these plants around here to have a voice at the bargaining table.
It's glad to hear it. Wonderful, wonderful. What about you, my brother? Where you from, man? You were from around here?
Tennessee, actually Spring Hill, Tennessee, local 1853.
UAW?
Yeah.
Right. All right.
Organizer there.
Wonderful.
Organizing around Mercedes and Honda. So,
Hey.
we want to make sure that people have a voice.
Brings you out here to march for voting rights.
Make sure, hey, these people have a voice.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. I want to see a change at that level.
Yes, sir. Glad to hear, brother. Folks from organized labor here, y'all. We're gonna hear. How y'all doing? Where y'all from?
California.
You all the way from Cali. Hey, all right. You too?
Washington, D.C.
Hey, wonderful. AFSCME. Is that an AFSCME shirt? You would AFSCME? All right. So we got AFSCME, UAW out here. UW. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. I thought you said UAW. Oh, yeah. And that's Alabama, isn't it? The way domestic workers are treated, right?
Everywhere. So we represent both family child care providers and in-home service providers. So
Okay.
the elderly, the disabled, but also family child care providers who provide child care for the families that have been working during the pandemic. So they've been the infrastructure of the backbone, really, of our country for the last 2 years, more than ever.
And these are also the people who disproportionately have their votes suppressed too, aren't they?
The people of color and mostly women.
Yeah. What brings AFSCME?
We represent 1.5 million public service workers, and we are fighting every day for economic justice and racial justice and workers' rights, whether people are working in home care or on roads crews or in hospitals or as social workers, and this is our fight.
Yeah. Outstanding. Glad all of you are here. We're out here for this first leg on the Montgomery, on the tour from on the march from Selma to Montgomery. Where y'all from? You from Montgomery? You in the union? You just here? You got AFL-CIO shirt on. You in the union?
No, I'm supporting Charles Clark.
Wonderful. Glad. What made you all decide to come out?
We have done it before from St. Jude to Capitol. We have marched before doing that. So it's probably about the 50th anniversary.
Okay. 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 Wonderful. 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 Taking a little rest break, and then we're gonna get started again. Where you two from? Birmingham. You all in the union? Uh-oh, USW out here. What about you, sir? Painters Union. So what made you all decide and march today?
Heard about it. We got a flyer about it, and we just thought the cause was a great cause, so we thought, why not?
Yeah.
We didn't know it's 11 miles at first, but we're gonna do it.
You gonna do it? You gonna do the
All that.
why is it important in the context of voting rights? Why is USW concerned about that?
I think all unions are concerned about that and voting rights and making sure everybody's voice is heard. I mean, that's kind of what unions are for, right? We've always stood up to make sure everybody's voice is heard, and that's what we're here today to do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You would agree, sir?
Completely agree. And, you know, just with all the voter suppression laws that are being passed all over the country, I mean, the IUPAC thinks it's important to stand with folks that are being suppressed and their vote is trying to be suppressed. So we think it's important to make a statement.
Indeed, indeed. We're glad you all out here. Glad you out here standing with us. Indeed. Hey, brother, talk to us. Talk to us.
I'm from Birmingham. This is my fifth trip doing this. People might not recognize, but I'm Rosa Parks' godson. I used to pick her up at the when she come to Montgomery.
That's right. That's right. Sure did.
It's a long, long time. But the problem we have here in the state of Alabama, just in Jefferson County alone, which is a larger county, we have 30,000 names that have been purged from the voting list. I think that is one thing we need to correct. And the second thing they've done here in the state of Alabama, they have passed this bill. If a kid can't read on a third grade level, they're gonna hold them back. So only thing they are got a bill down there now to eliminate this. We got a bill saying in the first 9 weeks, if a kid can't read, it's mandatory for them to take a tutoring class. Then not only that, the governor just took that federal money and put it into prison. We got more prison in Alabama than any state that we have. We have more black men in prison than we have in all the colleges in Alabama, in which we got 7 HBCUs in Alabama. So we just got a lot of improvement to do. We should have more people. Should have people from Birmingham should be here. But I'm just so delighted that they have taken time to keep this before people, keep us doing the right thing, because that is a lot of work to do. And the last thing, our governor is from the smallest county in the state of Alabama, which is called Cameron, Alabama. And Cameron, Alabama, as of today, still have outdoor facility. They still have to go to the well and pump water. You know, I came through as a sharecropper. I did this back in the 60s. We used to have to go to the well. Back in this day, they still have to go to the well and go outside to use our toilet.
Wow. 22.
So that's a lot of work that needs to be done in the state of Alabama. So I'm just so proud to have the opportunity to do this march. Like I said, this will be my 5th march I've done.
Yes, sir. Montgomery. Yes, sir. Tell us your name again, brother.
Okay, my name is David Russell.
All right, brother Russell. Thank you, brother. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. Mind if I ask where everybody's from? Where you about?
Anson, Alabama.
Anson, Alabama. What union you in?
I'm with the Job of America.
All right.
Alabama.
Birmingham.
Alabama.
Selma. Michigan. What? So all you all with the same union or same organization?
America and the Alabama Coalition for Community Benefit.
All right. What about you, brother? Birmingham.
In Alabama by way of Birmingham.
Hey, you decided to come out and march these miles today.
I think that we all need to stay in the struggle. We're watching every day that our rights, that the people that came before and took this march, are being stripped away from us. If we don't do something, if nothing changes, we're going to continue to go backwards.
Would you all agree? Why is it important, in your own words, for you to be out here today?
Voting is one of our most fundamental rights, and it's literally the key to everything that we have. So, like, if there's a social issue that you have, if there's an economic issue you have,
You have to have the right people in office to vote. If we're not allowed to put those people in office, we'll never get what we want.
Yeah. Ma'am, you like to say something?
Together we can make a change. Alone we cannot achieve as much as we can do collectively.
Yeah. Gotta have solidarity. What about you?
Marching because history is right now, and the things that affect us and are happening right now determine the life that I get to live tomorrow. So I can't let somebody else decide for me what my life is going to look like tomorrow.
Yeah. Ma'am?
To walk a mile in the shoes of the people that came before us. I want
Mm.
putting in work.
Putting in the work. My brother,
Putting in work.
you a veteran? You a veteran? Okay.
About rights, workers' rights, civil rights, voters' rights.
Yeah.
That same torch, fighting for rights, because
Yeah.
New Jim Crow is something special.
And you would think it's like going back to the early days when black folk came home from the war and couldn't vote. That don't make no sense. Life of this country, you can't even vote.
I was talking to a guy that said he served in Vietnam earlier, just giving him his praises, just how they were welcomed back when they came back from the war. I mean, war isn't beautiful, but it's a thing about survival when it comes to whether you live tomorrow or not. So you'd be surprised at things that you do to.
And we might be in another war in a minute.
I hope not. I'll pray not.
It was just scrambling over us. Wondering whether something happened. We didn't, whether it already was happening. They should what?
Stuff. I live by the track. So we be sending them army tanks on the train track
Uh-huh.
and stuff.
They're on alert. You can believe that. We are on alert. So.
Yeah. Well, glad y'all out here. God bless you all, of course. Good to see you. Folks, we're out here on the march from Selma to Montgomery, talking to some of the people who are marching, taking a quick break. How y'all doing today? Everybody mind telling me who they are and where they from?
CIO.
All right, with the AFL, good to see you, brother. All right, sir.
Junior from the AFL-CIO.
All right.
It's Curtis with the A. Philip Randolph Institute.
All right, A. Philip Randolph Institute out here too. Well, let's start with you then, ladies first. What made you decide to come out here today?
It's very important to have young people out here, and especially young black women, young black men on a march to Selma, where we're still fighting for the same thing that we were back in the '60s. It's very important to go where the problem is, and that's what we came here to do.
Yeah. And you all represent the AFL as a body. What made you decide to come out and be a part of this? Why is this important?
This is just a part of just me as a black man first. This experience and just the history here was just brought me here. And then also reading about it, being a part of a team, this has been something very important to me. Being a part of human and civil rights there, and then also a part of faith as well. That merit has just been a grandiose thing to be a part of. So that's why I'm here today.
How about you, sir? Why is it important we out here?
To continue to represent the of labor to the civil rights, the ability to create a pathway, a financial pathway out for all people. So the AFL-CIO feels very strongly about the partnership with civil rights, but also just the commitment to racial diversity and the fight for racial justice. So it's important for us to be here for the labor community.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother. Folks, we're going to step off again, resume the march. This is just the first couple of miles. We got about 9 more to go. Stopped off here at Burkeville United Methodist Church for a little bit of a rest.
Good talk. All right, thanks, Dan. Bishop, I see you. I see you on the Zoom. Every time meeting Clark, Charles Clark. Thank you. Hopefully we get a chance to kind of chat some. See what's going on. Okay. All right, thank y'all. Excellent job, man.
The protocol is there's a torch and a baton pass from each group. It marches every day. So we have the baton right here. Birmingham, Alabama. You with the union?
The Central Alabama AFT, the teachers union.
All right, that's very important. Thank you so much. Why is it important the teachers union to be represented out here?
Because we represent and we teach all students, and it's important that all people have easy access to vote.
That's right.
And democracy is everything in our country.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Very well said. Thank you. Thank you very much. What about you, ma'am? What union are you with? Oh, USW's out here today, huh? Why are you carrying that baton? How do you feel carrying that baton? Yeah. Voting is important, isn't it? Yep. We're glad you all out here. Tell everybody your name.
Doug Moore.
Yes, sir. And represent
The United Domestic Workers of America. It's a home care union based in California. We represent over 140,000 home care and child care providers.
and how do voting rights affect domestic workers?
Well, domestic workers for a long time were left out, not just the right to vote, but the right to essential benefits like overtime until recently. And we brought our members out here who are all domestic workers because a lot of them are immigrants. And they really didn't know the story of the voting rights. And I wanted them to get it firsthand. So we had our executive board meeting out here to talk about, to educate them on all the different aspects of voting rights, racial terror that's happened throughout the years, so that they can really get a firsthand view of it.
Yeah. Glad you're here, brother. Thank you. I think we about getting ready to step off, y'all.
We're gonna put that on them like news.
I don't know.
But what I didn't understand is a handcuff. You said that's in the paddy wagon first up.
I'm going to get it going. Then after I do it a couple of times, I look.
Right now, my name is Reverend Mark Thompson. I'm streaming on Roland Martin's Network and Mine. So we're live. Where you from? What union you with? No, you just out here marching. What made you decide to march? Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
It's an honor to be a part of it.
Yes, ma'am. Glad you're here. What about you, man? Where you from? Okay.
It's a blessing to walk where God is treaded.
Man.
Died and was beat jail so that we have the right to vote.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Glad you're here, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Fighting for justice. Justice is right. Justice is right. Fighting for voters. The voters' right is right. Justice.
You know, I got to Barbara Arwine, you been out here every day. Tell us why.
At this moment, we must do what Dr. King talked about. We must live in the urgency of now. Yeah. We do. Yeah. And we will be out here and until these very special laws are gone, until the multiple voter. We got
Barbara Arwine.
What does democracy look like? Democracy is what does democracy look like?
Now I'm like, I was feeling it. See, when you're up there at the front, I hear you like they talking about me dance. You up to the front, you can control it. You can control it. All right. There's someplace. I love you. That's the future. It's the future. So I want to sit back on the rocking chair and say, "Oh yeah." Yeah. I
We don't have a lot of.
Yeah, you have to. And it's important not only to have people in the space at the same time they're there, so we can see how.
exactly. See, you got to be somebody down here.
Yeah, you have to meet where they are.
Stickers. Stickers, yeah. Take lunch from the back, send it back. Yeah, like that.
Yeah, it's okay to do that.
In the white truck back there, you want to grab it? It's in the white truck back there. We need it. Oh, y'all LDF, right? Y'all LDF is leading the march tomorrow, and we're going to end up at the Montgomery State Capitol. Y'all ready? Been bringing it all week. Y'all gonna bring it tomorrow? What y'all gonna do with the state capitol?
Voice heard. Let them out. Yeah, there's no options but for federal voting rights. That's what we need. Federal voting rights protections.
Do we have any other options in the courts to preserve our voting rights, to restore the Voting Rights Act?
in the courts, then we're going to be pursuing those options in terms of Alabama's redistricting maps and state by state. But the best protection is federal voting rights protection.
Right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You okay? I'm backing up. Best protection is federal voting rights. LD House. I'm sorry. You okay? When the people.
Try to stop us, but we become back. We become back. Try to stop us, you come back. The power comes back. Power comes back. The power comes back. Power comes back. Try to stop us, but we keep coming back. It's okay. You know, it's a chance. But you don't know. I wasn't here then, right?
I know about that one.
Oh, the pictures are okay. All right.
Something I forget.
Y'all ready for this song? We're gonna sing it again.
Uh-oh.
Come here. It's a big fighter and it's hard to fight. We're gonna fight all day until we get it right. What side are you on, my people? What side are you on? Yes, on the freedom side. What side are you on, people? Hey, on the freedom side. Like, oh yes. All right, so when I do that, then you say, oh yeah. Y'all heard me? Give us the yeah. Yeah. Harriet Tubman was a freedom fighter. She taught us how to fight. Oh yeah. We gon' fight until we get it right. What side are you on, my people? What side are you on? What side are you on, my people? Hey y'all.
Y'all need to, you don't need to get him.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You've been here all week.
Reverend Mark Thompson. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. All right. Glad to be here.
Step ain't fair. All right. Y'all got the words? He's got a right to vote. He's got a right to vote. And before this campaign fails, go down to jail. Cause Ed got a right to vote. 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 We got it.
Got it right to go.
Folks, right here with the AFL-CIO continuing on the march from Selma to Montgomery. We will keep you apprised throughout the day. Check back in with you a bit later on. Stay tuned here to the Black Star Network with Roland Martin. This is Reverend Mark Thompson, and this is the Black Star Network.